This video is to help you change your anxiety and depression around completely so that you can live a happy, more meaningful life and feel good most of the time. This is something that I experienced from a young age. I was diagnosed with what they call the anxiety and the depression, and they wanted to give me prescription medication. And instead, I chose to prescribe myself in a way and to utilize marijuana. And also, at a certain point, I started drinking more often, and I took many different mind altering substances to expand my mind and also just to feel better and to cope with what was going on inside of me, because I didn't have the awareness that I do now about my emotions and what I was really needing and what I was really looking for in my life. And this is something that now I have been able to move past, and I spend most of my life feeling really good and feeling a purpose and feeling calm in myself and grounded. And I've learned a number of tools that have helped me get there. I've learned a number of tools that have helped me find this place in myself where I don't need any kind of outer exterior substances or even the world to be a certain way for me to be okay and feel good. And this has taken me it's taken me some years of just different changes in my life and choosing a different direction in my life and taking on new habits. And it's also taken a lot of just learning from reading countless different books and listening to podcasts and YouTube videos and really educating myself on this human experience and how others had created this place in themselves that they weren't needing substances and they were still having really wonderful lives and feeling good about life. So I dove deep into this whole world of learning how to create stability and balance in myself no matter what was going on outside of me, and to cultivate this emotional balance, this place inside of me that feels good, to cultivate this good feeling place no matter where I am, no matter who I'm with, no matter what I'm doing. And this has brought me to a whole new place in life, to building a foundation for myself that I'm able to live my life from in such a more just like a joyful way, like a happy way, and to like such a more satisfying way. Like my life now is really so much more enjoyable now that I've cultivated this new way of being in the world and this way of experiencing life. And I recommend it to anyone. And I believe that we take substances, whether prescribed or self-medicated, or from smoking to drinking to even some people eat, or they deal with it in different ways where they in relationships where they're needing other people's approval to be okay. There's so many different ways that we make ourselves feel better when we don't have this inner balance, when we don't have this balance inside of us to be able to feel good about ourselves. And this is something that we can all learn how to do. We can all learn how to be in a good place in ourselves, no matter what. It just takes practice. It takes a new way of looking at things. It takes a new way of doing things that we aren't exactly taught in schools or by even, many parents and society isn't teaching us this in the mainstream. I mean, there is a lot of education about it when you go out and realize and look for it. And that's what I'm bringing this here to your attention, because I'm really passionate about learning how to stay in balance and stay in a good feeling place in yourself without any kind of substances or outside approval that you need. And this is something that I practice every day, because it's so important to me, and that I've dedicated to my life to learning and practicing. And this is something that I believe will be accessible and will be widespread knowledge and way more practiced in the coming years, that people are waking up to realize what I'm talking about here, and to really bring that to the mainstream and realize the power of our emotions and realize the power of our thoughts and how much those affect our lives. So one thing that I've learned to do to help me soothe my anxiety and to help with depression as well is to meditate every morning. When you meditate for every morning, even for 15-20 minutes, and just sit and let your mind quiet, it helps you have a calm, stable foundation for the day. When I do this in the morning, I make my days that much better. I see a noticeable difference in my days, and it really helps. And throughout the day, I breathe deep through different situations that I'm in. Throughout the day, I just remember to breathe deep, and I take deep breaths. And center into myself and center into being aware of how I'm feeling. And I ask myself, how am I feeling right now? And if I'm not feeling that good, I ask myself what thoughts I'm thinking that connect with that. And I look for better feeling thoughts. Because when you start going into a spiral, you can go into an upward spiral or a downward spiral. And either way, they will start to exponentiate. And so you can choose by being aware of where your thoughts are, where your emotions are, which way you're going in that spiral. So when you consciously are aware of that and choose to go either up or down, then you can choose whether you go into anxiety and depression, or whether you go into happiness and calm and groundedness. And that is a really powerful tool. With some practice, you can get really good at that. I keep getting better and better every day and getting more clear about where I'm at emotionally. If you are having depression or anxiety, this one saying that I heard has been really helpful too for me, is anxiety is where you keep looking at the past. Anxiety is when you keep looking at the future and trying to figure out the future and thinking too much about the future. And depression is where you dwell in regrets of the past. So if you can let those go and be more in the present, and when you focus on the past or the future, you focus on the parts of it that you want to selectively remember or envision, then you will create a more stable foothold for yourself in your present reality. I want this to be really beneficial for anyone that watches it. And if this was helpful for you, shoot a message down below in the comments and let me know what was helpful and what else you would like to hear about that would be helpful in the future. If you liked it, smash the subscribe, give it a click, and hit the like button, and it will help my channel grow. And I really appreciate it. I appreciate you watching and being here today. And I want this to be a value to you. I want you to be able to live a more fulfilling, happy, good feeling life using these tools, and let go of depression and anxiety without needing substances outside of yourself to do that, or situations either. Have a great rest of the day. Enjoy, beautiful people. Bye.